Alright, so in this video, we're going to talk about quadratic equations. I'm going to introduce to you the kinds of quadratic equations, and also I'm going to introduce to you the general form of a quadratic equation. So first things first, what is a quadratic equation? Well, a quadratic equation will always have the highest degree of 2, or exponent is equal to 2. Will always be 2. So for example, I'm going to write a bunch of quadratic equations right now. So for example, we have the equation 4x squared minus 5x plus 2. That's equal to 0. And next equation, we're going to have x squared is equal to 58. Next equation, 2x squared minus 7 is equal to 0. And next equation, I'm just making these equations up. 9x squared minus 5x is equal to 0. We have three kinds of quadratic equations. So the first kind that we have the complete quadratic right here. Complete quadratic. This is called a complete quadratic. So why is this complete? So as you can see, it has an x squared term, an x term, and a constant. That is why it's complete. So right here, I'm going to write here x squared, x, constant term, are all present. Here, these two are both called pure quadratics. Why is that? It's because they don't have an x term. X term is missing. So, right here. You can see there is no x term. Where is the x term? No x term. So it's just 2x squared minus 7. It's just the x squared term and the constant. And here is just the x squared term and the constant. It's just 58. Okay? So the last one, we have the incomplete quadratic. Because this doesn't have a constant term. So constant term is missing. So you can see there's only an x squared term and an x term. The 0 is not considered a constant term because that is 0, of course. So there we go. No constant term here. Where is the constant term? You don't see any constant term there. So that's why it's called an incomplete quadratic. Okay, so next is we're going to find out what a general form of a quadratic is. So a general form is always going to be in this form. So as you can see, I highlighted the constants. They are in yellow. So these are constants. And the first term, of course, it has a variable which is x squared. This, and second term will have an x as the variable, and the last term will have the constant. Okay, so this equation that you see right here, it's already in general form. And this is the form that we would like to work with most of the time. Okay, so now we're going to learn how to make these equations into general form. Okay, so let me erase these. So for example, we have the quadratic equation, which is 7 minus 4x is equal to 5x squared over 3. Remember, we don't have this in general form yet because, as you can see, we need 0 on the other side, and this is obviously not equal to 0. Okay? I'm going to write here the general form again. So this is the general form. We want it to be in this form. So how do we make it in this form? Okay. So as you can see, we have this denominator on the other side, on the right-hand side. So to get rid of that, we multiply the whole equation by 3. We multiply that by 3. So we get, on the left side, we get 21 minus 12x is equal to 5x squared. All right. Okay, so then we move everything on the left to the right side. So first we're going to move the 12x. So on the right side, it becomes plus 12x. And the 21, it becomes minus 21. But I don't like the 0 here being on the left side. So we're going to switch places with the other side, with the right side. So I'm going to write here 5x squared plus 12x minus 21 is equal to 0. That looks a lot nicer than having 0 on the left side. Okay, so this is now in general form. Now in general form.